Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Amen.
If you are excited in the house, give the Lord a shout.
Hallelujah.
Give the Lord a shout. Thank you so much for having me around again. I have a special love in my heart for you this morning. And I trust God that we are going to do business with God again. Before we advance, can you have your seat? Welcome your neighbor left and right. And have your seat. I want to help you to help me appreciate my beloved mother is here. We drove in together. Please help me appreciate her. I don't take it for granted. You know, mothers are the reason why we are still alive. Also, help me appreciate your chapel elders and all the escorts of FCS, the president, and every other executive of both chapter. Thank you so much. Also, my beloved friends are here. My friend Apostle Paul and Apostle Bulus and also are here. Please help me appreciate them. Thank you so much. And, can you also appreciate yourself? You look marvelously nice. Yesterday, strings. Yesterday we began on a very high note, and we trust God that this morning we are going to climb upon the ladder as we add another facet in this journey. Sorry I came a little bit late. I learned today is sanitation. So while we wanted to drive out, they said we can't drive until past 10. I know my place is a little bit far. Driving to this place was really a challenge. I was speeding like I was playing game. So, but here we are. I will do a little teaching. Then we pray again, setting a foundation for the evening that we can be able to fly. Is that okay? Morning session are actually supposed to be interactive session. Interactive. Actually, I intend that maybe I do small talk. Then you ask questions and I answer. But I don't know whether you have made availability for that. I don't know. But morning session is supposed to be interactive, right? So, but either way, I will just teach you something very profound. Go with me to the book of Proverbs 4. I'm not hearing you, organ. I say strings. I'm not hearing you. Many years ago, as a student, anytime I have the privilege to speak to students, I'm still a student actually. Anytime I have the privilege to speak to students, I am excited and delighted. Why? Because I know this is the prime age where which God does business with you that will chart the course of your life outside of campus. Campus is a trap. It's an orchestra, but it's a trap. It's possible for you to waste your life on campus. It's possible. But it's possible for your life to be built in campus. I believe that everybody that passed through a campus has been given the opportunity to become great. He didn't take advantage of it. Do you realize that many people, the person they marry or the person they become business partners and whatever, are people they met in the campus? Do you realize that? Campus is one of the orchestration by God to ensure that we get to connect for life and destiny. If you escape the campus, the next thing you will have is either a ministry. Maybe you're working in a ministry, you are working in a fellowship. You get to meet people, because people that don't end up meeting people that matters for life and destiny within campus or in a ministry will miss it in life. And sometimes by the mercy of God, other people for NYC at least get to meet certain people. But I don't really believe that there are genuine people in NYC. I believe that the person you have known for the past 4 years is quite enough. The person you should trust. I mean, that roommate that person that has been your friend for a long time on campus is somebody that you can be able to see where you can intermingle together to be able to chart the course of your life. Or the person you meet in a ministry or in a move of the Spirit. Because oftentimes there's always going to be a revival move. If you are part of many things that have been happening, you'll be seeing that there are so many revival moves that happen and this and that. The people you meet within those kind of cycles are very important. And far beyond the certificate you are going to have, those people you meet at the course of your journey in life are more important. Also, there are other things that are so important are the lessons we learn at the course of life. The betrayals, the disappointment, all of them are very important. Everything or every wrong mistake you make are very important. Because if you make a mistake, you will never repeat it again. There are things that only failure will teach you. So those mistakes you are going to make are the things that are going to ensure that you get it right. How many of you have been scammed before? That they called you and they say, okay, they just send you a code. Can you say this code so that we can upgrade your BVN? Why are you sounding holy? I have been scammed before. They have called me, I've given them. I didn't even when I gave them until you begin to see alert. Bam, bam, bam. And the remaining 500 naira, they didn't leave it. They used to recharge their phone. After that time, if anybody call you and say they want to upgrade BVN again, you will never make that mistake again. But you see, you will never have known the strength of that kind of a mistake until you are scammed. So there are seen. How many of you have trusted a lady or trusted a guy before? And you believe that person is the everything of your life until the person disappoints you. Now there is somebody now that is trusting you so much, but you just realize you cannot give 100%. The reason why you are reserved is because you had an experience. And this is how life works. Life will use you as an experimental unit. You know what you call experimental unit? You are a science student. Experimental unit is what you use to do experiment. So life does not have a specimen, you are the specimen. So you will go through the pain, you will go through the havoc, you will go through the mistake until you are made perfect. It's not as if life is angry with you, no, but that's just how it is. And that is why there is no greatness without a story. There is nobody that is sitting here today that does not have a story. Everybody has a story to say about something. Why? Because life uses you as a unit for experiment. And when you are on campus, you are given the privilege to explore many possibilities. Because maybe many years ago you used to be a reserved person at home, but now you came to campus. Now you have to mingle with classmates, meet with classmates, and the rest. And all of these people you meet from classes are the people that will have to be part of your life. Among them will be the people you marry, and business partner, all kinds of things. This is how it works. But while I was on campus, while I was about to graduate, the Lord began to teach me certain few things. God taught me some few things. Apart from those things, apart of the things that I'm still saying now. One of the things that God teach me is what I call the believer's challenge. How that if I can do my best not to have the challenge that an average believer have, I can be sure that when they talk about backsliding, it will be a story. How many of you have ever backslided before? You see, it's nothing wrong for you to backslide. But as you backslide, also front slide. But the problem is that most times when people go down, they don't come up again. There are people that have killed people. There are people that don't know worse thing than you. You make only one mistake, and that one mistake is enough to make you give up on yourself. And God did not give up on you yet. There are so many people today that are in self-condemnation. God has never condemned them. And the reason why they are there is just because they backslide. Maybe he was the campus fellowship and coordinator. And not because he got a lady pregnant, I believe his life has finished. Your life has not finished. I'm very serious. Just because you stole and they caught you, and now they excommunicate you from school, you say your life has not finished. Nobody has the audacity to conclude on the life of another person is a lie. As long as you're on this earth, nothing is permanent. You cannot predict a thing and say it's like that, because life is like a probability of chance. You see that 0 or minus, and sometimes either plus or minus. So So the person that you look upon now and say that can never become anything among us you are saying now, maybe the person that will shock us. And the person that is in the class that you think doesn't know anything, don't do, he will be the one that will employ all of us to know. Because life is not always predicted. And that is why one of the greatest things you must be able to do is to be able to, number one, as you believe in God, you must believe in yourself. There is no remedy for a man that doesn't believe in himself. If I don't believe in myself, I won't be standing here. If I give you this mic now to say something and you cannot say, it's not because of anything, it's not because God is not faithful, it's because you don't believe in yourself. And sometimes you can look at yourself as a failure, and when you see yourself as a failure, there's nothing God can do for you. Because you have already, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What you have already believed is what will become of you. Do you believe in greatness? Do you believe that God can do something with your life? It doesn't matter the mistake you have made before. I don't care whether you have killed somebody, you have aborted before, you have done this, you have done that. Calm down. Part of the process of learning in life is that you are going to make mistakes. It's a very sad truth. Every great man has made a mistake before. I have never seen a man that has not made a mistake, even God. The Bible says, and God regretted that he created man. That means I'm actually a product of the regret of God. So should I not kill myself that God born me by mistake? No, because even what you call born by mistake has a purpose. If you sleep with your mother today and your mother is pregnant, sir, the child has a purpose. Somebody told me that his sister is pregnant and he's responsible. You see, that child, God is interested in the child. The world may call the child bastard, born by mistake. It's a lie. I remember one time that I was with you, one lady came, her and her brother, they got pregnant. The brother, I don't know how brother and sister fell in love, and even in our midst they are still in love. They don't know that it was a danger. They didn't tell their parents, but the daughter is already, the sister is already pregnant for the brother. This is the world we live. That child looks like a vagabond. But I'm trying to let you understand, even in the worst case scenario, God still has a plan for such calamity. And that is why in the tribe of Israel, you will see that Leah actually was not designed to actually be the wife of Jacob. It was what? Rachel, right? But do you know that all the children that Leah gave birth to were also part of the tribe of? Is that what I'm by mistake? Okay. In the worst case scenario of your life, God still have a will. He's working in it. You may never know. But I'm trying to let you understand that never conclude on yourself when God has not. It doesn't matter how bad the situation. It doesn't matter how worse the situation is. Part of the challenge that must have led people to make those kind of mistakes is this. Number one. One of the challenge of an average believer is that an average believer does not fear God. Anybody you see that does anything can, and most times he doesn't really fear God. If you fear God, there are things you'll be afraid to do. I'm very serious. I've been to a place where they carry a woman and they gave me, they say, this one is your wife. Have you seen where they gave free wife before? I was afraid. If you don't fear God, the things you will do are too much. You yourself can't count them. You will not know when you look at people like this, and all your prophetic is, it has access to bank account number and how much is inside. And the thing you say is that transfer it here. You don't know the possibilities in your flesh until you don't fear God. When a man does not fear God, his will is submitted to his flesh, and anything he desires, he does it. And that's a very terrible situation. An average believer don't fear God. Don't be an average believer. Have a genuine fear for God, because God is holy, and when we do business with God, we must be holy ourselves. The Lord told me, this path should never be in your life. Another challenge of a believer is that every believer does not love God. Let me tell you, I love God. Forget about ministry. I'm not here just because I love ministry. I love God. I love God genuinely. Do you really love Jesus? Because a man that does not love Jesus cannot be loved by anything. It's only the love of God that satisfies us. If not, nothing will be enough. Do you realize that? If you have 10 million today, you want 20 million. If you have 20 million, you want 30 million. There is nothing that is enough. Do you know at this point you are now, your life is better than somebody else. But you yourself, you are angry with your life. The same way that somebody is better than you, you too, you are better than somebody. That's why I say don't even compete. I say something one day, I evaluate, I find out that Dangote wealth is just 10 billion US dollars. And he's the richest man in Africa. People like Elon Musk, people like Bill Gates, their wealth is, we are talking about getting to 300 billion. That means even 10% of Dangote money, you know, rich. 10% of people like Bill Gates money is about more than 30 billion. And Dangote is just 10 billion and he's the richest man in Africa. That means if Dangote comes to where the Bill Gates are, he's a poor man. This is how life is. Very strange. That you look at yourself and you say that, guy, I'm the worst. And here you now see another person that is worse than you. You that look at yourself and say, I'm nothing. I now see somebody that is saying, God, this dimension you have, oh, God, how I wish I can get a double portion. You are not even proud of the one portion. Somebody wants the double portion. That's how life works. I remember when we used to be on campus, when we do tests, you know, first class students have a mentality. Never satisfied. So long as you don't see 100, you'll be crying. We will do tests, we will have 25. Out of 100, we'll say at least we get the E-ability color. Somebody will have 97, somebody 99 and is angry. Why did they remove 1 mark? That person needs to be slapped. But that is how people that are first class are. That they want to know why 1 mark is up. But you see, sometimes life will not give you that 1 mark. And yet again, you will still pass. And that is why even 70 is A. Do you love Jesus? If you don't love Jesus, everything you are doing will be a waste of time. When you don't love God, there are things that God will not reveal to you. Another challenge of a believer is an average believer does not really pray. People always ask me, why is my voice gone? I say, because I'm praying and crying. If you are crying and praying, your voice will not be normal. One thing about prayer is that you don't need to understand it, just do it. Revival will always remain a story until people begin to pray. Prayer is the difference, and prayer is a very big difference. An average believer does not see the need to pray. Never be an average believer. See, be on this campus, kill yourself with prayer. Look for a bush, look for an angle. Let them know you that you pray. Inside there should be a region where you pray. Don't be in that office for the past 5 days and nobody hear you pray. An average Muslim, you cannot be with him for 1 day and not see him go to pray. An average Muslim pray 5 times a day. We don't care. An average Christian is not guaranteed to pray once in a day. And nobody cares whether in the flesh or in the spirit, as we say with our friends. Just pray. In fact, it's better you pray in the flesh than you don't even pray at all. Is the prayer in the spirit? Is the prayer in the flesh? Are you sure your prayer and God is answering it? Are you praying the right way? Or God, are you the one that answer prayer? Even you have God answer all your own prayer, it's the right prayer. You only pray. God's job is to answer. So it doesn't matter whether I lie down to pray, whether I'm dancing like this to pray, whether I'm turning like this to pray, whether I'm like this to pray. Is it your business? I'm better than you that is evaluating to see whether am I praying right or am I praying wrong. But that's the truth. And sometimes people tell you, you do the pray. It's a lie. Nobody do the pray. We do the talk, we know they do the pray. Some all your life you discover you talk more than you pray. I was in Lagos for a prayer conference. I told them we wrote prayer conference, but we talk too much. But we start praying for just 1 hour. People say we are praying long, but we have been talking for like 2 hours. Even if we say let's balance it, it's not fully balanced. We will never come to a point where we balance prayer. In our churches today, we talk for 2 hours, we pray for just 30 minutes. Is it balanced? It's a lie. So if anybody tell you 2 days pray, it means you are just trying to balance it, because you never even balance. And many of you are Facebook preachers. You preach about prayer, you don't pray, you are a scammer. You are like those people that send me that code. When you talk too much about prayer, you don't pray, you are a scam. You are like those people that will remove our money because they want to upgrade our BVN. I don't know when last they upgrade BVN. One called me that day. He said there is a code they sent me that. Am I in one prayer group like that? FBI prayer group? I say yes. He said, I know that we have meeting in the evening. I say yes. He said there is a code that everybody must have so that you can enter the meeting. He said, as you check my phone now, they just send me the code now. And I checked my phone and I saw a code, but they wrote there, do not share this code with anybody. So I now asked the person, but they wrote that I should not share the code with anybody. He said, yes, what they mean is that you should not share it to the people in the WhatsApp group, but you can share it to us so that we can create a reservation for you to enter. Reservation date to enter WhatsApp group again. And as the person was talking with me, I'm hearing them making many calls in the room. I know they were scammers. So I play along with it. I said, okay, this is the code. I saw the code, I called the wrong one. As I called the wrong one, he said, the thing did not enter, I should check again. I said, that's the one I called for you now. He tried to enter. Let me see how you enter inside with the wrong code. He called me again. He said he will do it again. When they give me the right code, I will give you the wrong one. I realized that there is no wrong way of doing the right thing. It then means that your life can have a wrong code. And that is why you cannot be able to enter. When you have the right code, even somebody that is a scammer can enter. It's like somebody that steals your ATM card. So long as you have a knowledge of the pin, the ATM don't want to know whether it's your face or his face, he will remove the money. But even you, with your own ATM card with your name on it, if you don't have the right information, you cannot enter. And this is how this thing works. I'm going somewhere. We'll read our scripture. I'm going somewhere. An average believer doesn't pray, so he doesn't have access to the wisdom and the knowledge of God. When you begin to pray, you are open to the possibility of creation. Never be an average believer. An average believer also does not obey God. Never be an average believer. Learn to obey God daily. An average believer is not also aligned to God. Also, an average believer has not learned how to grow in impartation. Don't be an average believer. How many are that? There are about 9. How many of them? Forgot. I have a message on that. The believer challenge. Don't listen to it. But apart from these few things that the Lord told me about the challenges of the believer, another thing He taught me is what I call the fourth tragedy of life. The last time I was here at the chapel, final year brethren, I speak about it. There are 4 tragedies in life. Don't let those tragedies caught up with you. Number 1 tragedy in life is that a man died. See, millionaires, everybody died. It's a worst case. Everybody is trying to look for a remedy to live. The drugs that will ever sell is the drugs for everlasting life. And God knows that this world is wicked. He doesn't provide that. Only God can give you life everlasting. Death is a tragedy. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to die. I have never seen a man dying that was happy. Even Jesus Christ, he cried. I'm telling you. If you have seen the spirit of death come before, it threatens. It brings fear. Have you seen somebody die in the hospital? If you have ever been with somebody die in the hospital and see as the person goes, go. That thing will remain in your mind for a while. In fact, you'll be humble for the next 1 week before you start backsliding. Have you seen somebody struggle with life? You now discover that it's not easy to live. That this life that is inside of you now that is keeping you alive is a mystery. How that you can just, when he leaves you now, as he leaves me now, can just fall like this, and it's just dead body. And the man said, when you give a billionaire and a millionaire and a poor man, when take away their life out of them, all what you have is dead body. Nobody cares to know whether it's a billionaire dead body, millionaire dead body, not dead body. One of the greatest tragedy in life is death. It equates you to everybody. And that is why at the end all of us will be equal in death. And only those that have life can live afterward. What we are doing right now is to journey into life so that we can have an advantage in the time to come. So that in the days when all of us are equated to death, some of us will still have the privilege to have life. Because there are people that will die now and still die everlasting. Number one tragedy is death. Any law set by a man that is dead is changed by those that are living. I know many people, their father was a pastor and say, "Pastor this church, promise me you will do this, do that." When the man died, they change everything. He cannot wake up from the grave and shout. He can remain there and be shouting there in the afterlife. Somebody, their mother is about to die, they carry you that escorted her to the hospital, and they say, "My son, as I die now, hold this lady very well." Whether you like it or not, you are married. Because the spirit of the dead, a wish made by the dead is supposed to be kept, because the person can't come back again. But oftentimes, what is made by the dead are changed by those that are living. It's only Nigeria that have a constitution that was made by people that have died, and we can't change it. You know, Nigeria case is spiritual. The constitution of Nigeria is good, but men don't live by it. We need to renew it again. We need to restructure it again. But nobody wants to try that. Somebody said something. That any country currency that use dead people as part of the picture, the currency will keep on failing. Why? Because dead people are dead. Yes. The dead has no value. That's why, I think, is it a pound? Which one did they use? The queen. It's still strong. And everyone that they keep on using dead people that don't have any better achievement, the currency will look like them. When you go to Zimbabwe, a million Zimbabwe, this thing can only buy soap. Somebody is a billionaire, but what he can buy is a soap. Something can be that worthless. Because the currency is not the paper, it's the value in it. And when something does not have value, it doesn't matter how much zero you attach, it is still zero. That is a tragedy. The second tragedy is for a man to be alive and yet is not born again. It's a terrible thing. Everybody that is not born again, that is alive, will still equate death. At the tail end, you will not have a life again. Ensure that you are born again, because this earth is not guaranteed. This earth is upon a foundation that is not steadfast. Geographers, maybe you agree that this earth is one planet that is just moving like this. If you go outside of space, you just see the earth as a ball moving. That means one day the thing can move and hit it and hit everybody. Bam! Don't go. This earth does not have a foundation. The earth foundation is only in God. It then means that everything in this earth does not last forever. I have 13 estates. I have 55 cars. I have 20 private jobs or government. In this earth, it's not guaranteed. Because we can wake up one day and all of them are gone. A man can be alive and is not born again. He will still fail. The failure is not now, it's in the afterlife. How long can you live on the earth? 1,000 years? Come on. There are men that live. I remember one man, they say, is it Musa something? That was one of the richest men in Africa. Nobody has been as rich as him ever alive. Where is he today? Is dead. Someone that was always, he was about $1 trillion or something rich. Nobody is a trillionaire yet. But he's dead. And his chapter is closed. See, a time comes when If you are not born again, you will go and nothing will be remembered. It's only the memory of the righteous that is blessed. Another tragedy is that a man is alive, is born again, but is not walking in purpose. You will still be confused. Purpose is the reason for your existence. And everybody has a dual purpose. Number one, representing God. Number two, giving expression to that in society. When you discover your identity in God, then you give it expression. What are you really called to do? It's very important. You must know that. And until you know that, you will be living on this earth, and you will just be escorting other people. You cannot make impact. And by the time you discover the area of your purpose, please kill yourself there, because it's worth dying for. What you are doing now is what we call a career. A career is the line of job, a line of skill or whatever you are pursuing, so that you can get a good job to earn need. But nobody gets rich from a job. Neither nobody gets rich. Everybody gets rich from following a passion, a purpose, or something. Is that true now? What do you want to do beyond your certificate is what I'm talking about now. It's very important. What keeps you late awake at night? What are your dormant potentials, abilities? What can you do naturally? What are the things that you love doing again and again, even if nobody pay you to do it? That thing can reward you. It's good for you to find out the purpose why you are existing. Everything in your life has a purpose except you. Your shoe knows its purpose. This shoe is having a purpose. This watch is having a purpose, right? This mic is having a purpose. This clothes is having a purpose. This chair you are sitting on is having a purpose. This horn is having a purpose. This projector is having a purpose. You, what purpose are you serving? Because you are using everything that has a purpose except you. Go and find it out. Until you begin to walk in purpose, you will not be relevant. The last tragedy in life is that a man is born again, a man is alive, a man is walking in purpose, but a man married wrongly. See that one now you are saying already. Because now that one heavy. That one now your leg get gone. But that one will make all the other tragedy look small. But when you marry wrong, oftentimes you prefer death. And the challenge of the last tragedy is that when you marry the wrong person, the person will live for so long to prove to you that you married them wrongly. Yes. All your prayer for the person to die will not die. The person will not die. As if the more you pray for the person to die, the person will have long life and prosperity. If you marry a woman wrongly, I learned of a man that was done married after the marriage, after they were dancing, I'll be finished. The woman turned to him and said, You don't die. You all don't finish. When you marry wrongly, the man or the woman will live for so long to prove to you that you married them wrong. These things are tragic. The Lord told me to be careful of all of this. And each and every one of them have a solution. For death, you need to have the life of God. For not being born again, you just need to be born again. That's all. For purpose, you just need to discover it. Then, for the last one, you need the help of God. But that one is a compendium. No book in this world will save you from marital crisis. Even the people that write the book, they have crisis in themselves. Every marriage is unique. I'm very serious. If Oyedepo wife married Muyi wife, problem. If Funke Adejibo, that woman that used to do relationship, that say if your husband does not open door for you, divorce him. If your husband cannot carry you up like this, divorce him. Let that one marry Oyedepo. Let him be carrying her up and be carrying and be. Enter this car. Let's move out of here. Let's move out of here. There are serious matters here. Everybody marriage is unique. Your husband may not be carrying you up, but God may want you to endure. And that is not what will be written in the book. Don't go and read one marriage book by Gary Chapman. People in the world that don't understand how kingdom things work. So if the man cannot take you out for Valentine, he doesn't love you. When the Lord says remain inside, on Valentine Day, God says go and fast and remain inside. But it's not captured in Gary Chapman, because Gary Chapman may not be a man that responds to the burden of God. So on the day of Valentine, in fact the day of your anniversary of wedding, the Lord says that day is dedicated for fasting and prayer, and you just want to go and eat chicken. So the standard of the way of the kingdom is totally different. And that's why I say you need the help of God for the last one. Because that one I don't have the wisdom for you. But apart from this tragedy, one of the most important things that God taught me is what I call the 5 fingers of greatness, the things that buy money. Let me tell you the truth. There are things that purchase money in this life. Many years ago in campus, all of us were plenty praying. And the Lord beckoned upon me and said, Philip, after campus, what next? Have you ever asked yourself that question? We were reigning on campus, but after campus, what next? That was where I could not answer again. Because I realized that all the people that were reigning on campus, when they left the campus, we didn't hear them again. Even the East Coast, they use their position to get a job, maybe in a bank or somewhere, they just hide. You thought the people that are supposed to go and become pastors or become something are the people that were the fire people on campus. After campus, as they just left, some of them marry a good woman, they hang. Some of them marry, get a good job, they hang. Some of them, all of them, their life just. And now I realize that as if after campus, me too, I hibernated. There was no plan for sustainability. There is no plan to make impact. There was no plan for anything. And God decided to help me. The Lord told me, Philip, as what I call the 5 fingers of greatness. He said there are things that if you have in your life, there are 5 of them. After campus, you cannot be stranded outside. After campus, you cannot be useless outside. After campus, you must be relevant outside, except you don't have it. And he said, I should checkmate and see whether my life have those things now. Or if I don't have them, I should begin to work towards them. Let's read the scripture so that it doesn't look as if I didn't read one. Proverbs 4. I always want to start from beginning. The Bible said, please, if you have your Bible, you can read from your Bible, but since we have projection, is there need for me to read it from here? Should I? Some of you say I don't carry Bible. This is my own. I went to a meeting, my things happened. They can't press, they say, Apostle, you did very well, just that you didn't read from the Bible. I didn't tell them the theme of the theme of this meeting is the 5 fingers of greatness, the things that buy money. Or you can say, take away the trust. Please write the theme so that they will not ask you that the preacher did not mention the theme. And this is the anchor scripture. And this is my Bible. The version is also. Say just that you didn't give us theme, you didn't give us topic, you didn't read, and I quoted many of it. He said, hear ye children the instruction of a father, and attend to no understanding. Go again. Say, for I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. Go again. For I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. Go again. He taught me also and said unto me, let thy heart retain my word, keep my commandment and live. Yes. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from thy word of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Yes. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get what? You know, if you have been to school before, there is principal, there is vice principal. It means that vice principal is actually under principal. Is that true? The Bible says if you are getting everything, all you're getting of prayer, getting of money, getting of everything, please get wisdom. If you don't have wisdom, your prayer will fail you. If you don't have wisdom, even your money that you have will fail you. Even in marriage, marriage is not only kept by prayer and fasting. Understanding is needed. Wisdom is needed. When God built the heavens and the earth, the Bible says the foundation was upon what? Wisdom. Also, the whole of creation is held by the word of the power of God. That means if you check also, there are two arms of God, the arm of wisdom and the arm of what? Power. God created by wisdom and he maintained creation by what? Power. So if you only have power, you don't have wisdom, you have only one arm, one leg. When you have only wisdom, you don't have power, you only have one leg. Everyone that must run well must have two legs. I'm not saying you cannot be handicapped, but you cannot function in efficiency until you have two legs. Wisdom and power is actually the tool that God used for creation and maintaining it. The Bible said that God, who has 100 times in diverse manner spoken to our forefathers by the prophet, he has in this last speak us to his son, who he has made heir of all things, upholding everything by the word of his power. That's Hebrews chapter 1. Mind you, God created by wisdom, and the intelligence of the creation of God by wisdom was in an architectural design. It then means that if you look at your life now, how your brain works, you can't understand fully well. How your mind works, how your heart works, how your respiratory system works, how your digestive system works, all these things are the wisdom of God. How air enter into our nose, not our ear, is the wisdom of God. Do you realize that? Why would oxygen not enter through ears? Why would it enter through nose? It's wisdom. You can't understand. It's not what science can understand. So you now see power and wisdom is working together with God in creation. So there's a need for us to pray and come into power, but there's a need for us to uphold wisdom for building. Okay? So the Bible says, in all your getting, get wisdom, get knowledge, get understanding. In our further tell us that wisdom is the principal thing. It then means that if there is a vice principal, wisdom is not principal. Wisdom is not the vice principal, it's the principal. It means that he's the first in the school. Yes. And it's what the principal what the principal decide that will work. I always say lack of direction kills faster than prayerlessness. Sometimes you can be prayerful and you just lack direction. Daniel was praying, but do you know that as he was praying, what he needed was understanding? And immediately when that angel came, that angel gave him understanding. I say from the very first beginning that you start praying, God has already answered your prayer. Let me tell you something that will shock you. Many years ago, I was praying for something and the Lord appeared to me. He said, Philip, what if you have this thing? When will you know you have it? How will you not answer the prayer? Are you getting my point? Okay, you want the gift of giving, right? How are you sure you have already not have the gift? Do you understand? You want this dimension of God. How are you sure you don't have it yet? It's possible for you to have prayed and God have already answered the prayer and you are still praying. When they capture Peter, do you know that the believers gathered together in the house of Rhoda and all the intercessors were praying and they were praying? How even when God answered the prayer, they didn't believe he has answered the prayer. The problem is what? Wisdom and knowledge and understanding. They prayed and prayed. Angel appeared. And Peter was set captive, free. And Peter came to the door of their prayer house. I don't even know how the Lord directed to the house. He came and knocked there. Those guys said, when he went and in a lie, this was Peter for where? This was an angel. God had maybe answered the prayer and they went back to keep on traveling again. How are you sure that God have not answered that prayer you have been praying? How will you know God has answered it? Now see the need for wisdom and understanding and knowledge. The Bible speaks about the sons of Issachar, that these ones have the understanding of times and seasons, and they know what Israel ought to do. Israel has so many tribes. In fact, Judah is the kingly tribe. But in the days when they need understanding and knowledge and wisdom, Judah cannot lead again. Issachar is the one that leads them. Bible says, get knowledge, get wisdom, get understanding, and you will live. Timothy, my beloved son, according to Paul, he says, study to show yourself approved, a workman who needed not to be ashamed of his business, rightly dividing the word of truth. Study to show yourself approved. It doesn't mean that a preacher, a man that refuses to study, will not show himself approved. He said, till I come, give attention to reading, give attention to doctrine. There are two kinds of labor. You must labor. You must labor in doctrine, you must labor in prayer. A believer must spend time laboring in doctrine. For the past 30 years of Jesus Christ, he was laboring in doctrine. The Bible says he was schooled. The same thing with Paul. Paul went under Gamaliel, he was taught all of the law. In fact, let me shock you. Knowledge is not the challenge of an average Jewish person. An average Jewish person is like an average Muslim. At the age of 12, some of them before 30 years, they have crammed the whole Quran in their head. You will hardly see a serious Muslim that have not crammed the Quran. Do you know Quran is about 60-something books too? All of it is in their head. Only believers who don't have a system to cram the Bible. An average of you has never read the Bible from cover to cover at all before, and you don't even have a plan to read it. But you have finished season movie, like 30 of them. In fact, you have read romance novel that is as big as Bible. But the things that matter to life and God never neglected it. And because you did not study and get wisdom and knowledge and understanding, your life will be like a joke. An average Jewish person is not a challenge for them to read the Torah. No, it's what they do naturally. So, you see, they are not impressed when you tell them you have read the Bible cover to cover, because all of them is a normal thing for everybody. The challenge of an average believer is understanding and the wisdom to apply. Then the reality. And you see, the realm of reality is what is made available to only people that can pray. You see why Jesus is different from them? The Pharisees have the Torah in their head. Jesus Christ has the reality. Why? Because he prayed. That's why Jesus Christ was the Son of God, yet he prayed more than they all. They were the Pharisees, they only know, but they don't refuse to pray. So a believer must labor in doctrine. No, he must also labor in what? Prayers, reality. And that was why Jesus Christ taught the apostles everything. But yet again, when he left, they backslid. Why? They didn't pray. So when they appear to them again, say, go and tarry, go and pray, because you have already known now it's time for you to pray so that you can enter into the reality. You must labor in prayer. You must labor in doctrine. That means there's a required amount of prayer needed for your life to thrive. Prayer is actually what is needed to take off. Prayer is the spiritual capital needed to do business in heaven. Do you realize that before a plane flies, there is an energy that is needed? A momentum. It will run before it now go up. If you refuse to run, it will go up. Do you realize that? Whether helicopter, it must generate something like what they call it, physical, rotational, I don't know, one of those motion. Before it cannot be able to move. The same way, before your life will go up, you must generate a force. When you begin to pray, you are generating a force for you to go up. And if you don't generate enough, you will go up and come down. But mind you, the pilot does not just only need to start up the engine. He also need to have understanding of how to what? Fly. Is that okay now? You now see why knowledge and understanding is important. Because as good as it is for you to just go up, when you go up, you need to be able to have the navigating pathway to be able to navigate.